Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome.
And as far as the learning curve goes, I mean, I just feel like you have to be more creative here, and I love that part of it. I feel like when I do come over here, this is really kind of how golf was intended to be played. I feel like there's a lot more opportunity for shot making and being creative around the greens, and I can just see how, somebody who is either a bit older, maybe not as talented as some of us out here, like you take a 10 handicap, that only carries it 200 yards and they can run it up and have fun and not really lose many balls. But the golf course out here is still going to challenge players like myself. And so it really is fun to come over here and play. And I feel like just getting more creative. And I think the biggest adjustment was how much the ball spins off of the turf here. It spins a bit more than it does at home. And so when you're playing shots into the wind, it'll typically have much more of an effect on what the golf ball does than what we're used to. So getting used to a little bit of the heavy air and just a little bit spinnier turf.
Scottie, as you'll know, the last person to win 6 in a year at this stage was Arnold Palmer, 1962. His 7th that year was the Open at Troon. It would be nice if history repeated itself with yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be great.
Were you aware of the fact that his 7th was?
No, I really do mean that I try to stay off the internet as much as possible. I like to, when I'm at home, I like to try to be at home and be present. And so I love the history of the game, and there's certain things that I know and certain things that I don't. And that was something that, for some reason, I just never stumbled across. And so I had no idea that was a thing. Yeah, it's definitely been a bit trickier. I think continuing to play better this year, definitely, especially at tournaments, I think there's just a lot more going on, day to day. And I think I've had to almost lean into that more, just continuing to improve my rest so that it's actually restful. I think that's something that my wife and I are always working on. When we're at home getting rest, what does it actually look like to be restful? And that's not necessarily always just sitting there and watching TV. There's a lot of different things that we do to get good quality rest, so that when we come back out here on the road and come try and play and do things, I have the energy to compete. I have the energy to really the social energy to come out and interact with the fans and do this kind of stuff, sit in the media center. Believe it or not, this isn't my favorite thing in the world to do.